Let's take a look at how we see consumer and producer surplus in the case of comparing a monopoly producer, domestic producer, with a competitive situation. So the first thing to remember is that the marginal cost curve is equal to the supply curve when we have a competitive industry. And that's a basic principle from microeconomics that you should remember. At different prices, how much will be supplied. So the marginal cost, we're aggregating up for all the firms. Think of it as the marginal cost curve for the whole industry. So in a competitive situation, the marginal cost curve is the supply curve, and so in a competitive situation, the price will be where the price is going to be equal to marginal cost, and at that price that will be how much is demanded, and that's going to be equal to how much is supplied. So we have our equilibrium price in the competitive situation, and we can then measure how much is consumer surplus, the area above the price below the demand curve, and producer surplus, the area above the marginal cost curve, below the price. So that's consumer surplus and producer surplus. If we turn to a monopolist, what a monopolist does is chooses the quantity that they're going to produce, such that at that quantity, price is equal to marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So right here is where we have marginal revenue equal to marginal cost, and the monopolist then charges a price higher than that. And goes up to the demand curve, and this would be the monopoly price. And the area between the marginal cost and the price of the monopolist is the profit for the monopolist. The monopolist, of course, also earns the difference between the lower marginal cost. So this whole area here is the producer surplus for the monopolist, and the consumer surplus for the monopolist is this area here. And we can see then that the difference between the monopolist and the competitive industry is this triangle here, the area of that triangle. That's the welfare loss from the monopolist. And that's due to the monopolist charging a higher price, which reduces the demand by consumers to consume it. And we can think about all of these items here that are no longer being sold. The marginal cost of producing them is lower than the value given by the demand curve to consumers of those items. So we add up all the difference there between the utility to consumers and the marginal cost of producing, and we can think of that as the welfare loss.